I am so excited to introduce you all to mental health and gaming. We as a Black, African American, Black Latina community, we need to be able to embrace and talk about our mental health opportunities, challenges, needs, concerns. We're losing too many amazing people with depression and mental health challenges. And more than anything, we see it in the gaming, entertainment, and sports industry. We've lost some very young, amazing, talented people around mental health, and a lot of times we don't feel like there's a network of people out there that we can talk to. So I'm excited about this panel, and we added this last year to Black College Con, and Women Got Game had an amazing response, so I'm super excited about today. I'd like to introduce you to the moderator, and she will introduce our amazing panel. Dr. Jael the Great, she's an actor, professor, author, life coach, and dynamic motivational speaker. You know what I love about us as people? We are so multi-talented. We wear so many hats, and we wear them all well. Jael the Great is an actor, as I mentioned before, life coach, and she is passionate about spreading the message you are perfect for your purpose. Not your mom, your dad, or somebody else's purpose, but your purpose. The quest for excellence that she has propelled her to great levels for her personal success. She honed her craft of life coach and motivational speaker while working as a facilitator for the world-famous motivational legend Les Brown. As his How to Become a Millionaire workshop, most of you weren't alive when Les Brown was at his greatness, and God rest his soul. That opportunity coupled with her meeting Oprah Winfrey, studying by Oprah, the Lady O, billionaire, studying in our element and experiencing her giving spirit inspired Jael to become all that God has created her to be. As an actress and singer-songwriter, she has worked with some of the greatest talents alive, including Tyler Perry, Loretta Devine, Robert Townsend, Kim Stills, Kirk Franklin, and so many others. Dante mentioned Tyler Perry earlier. That man was homeless. He lived in his car, and he is a multi-billionaire now. You can be and become whatever you believe. A true advocate for HBCUs, Jael is a graduate of the Jackson State University, JSU, as well as a professor at Spelman College, more HBCU love. She's been featured as a keynote speaker for conferences, workshops, and schools across the country. Jael's the author of the new book, The Great Audio Book of Affirmations, King Edition, and the creator of several powerful workshop series, including Reclaiming Your Kingdom, a monthly event curated just for men, where she provides a safe space for them to feel seen, heard, and heal in their community. Dr. Jael the Great.
Thank you. Thank y'all. I need energy. I'm a Pisces. I'm sensitive. I'm an artist. I'm sensitive. Okay? Hey, y'all. Hey. I'm so excited to be here. First of all, okay, y'all heard my bio. So I'm an artist, right? We all are artists, but gaming is a different part of the, well, maybe it's the same, but I'm just fascinated by you all. Like, I'm really excited. Thank you so much, Keisha, for having me. I really am just here just listening and learning, because when I was in college, y'all, I didn't know anything about going into gaming. I didn't know, I played games when I was little because I have a brother. So I played all the games and I was good. I was very competitive, trying to beat him in all the games. But I never thought about going into gaming like as a career. So I'm so glad that y'all have this platform. I'm so glad that Keisha is doing this, so you all can learn how to make money by doing what you love and being creative. So I'm really fascinated by you all. So I'm up here talking to them, and I'm just know that I'm like fanning out, right? I'm an actress and I've worked with everybody, and you know what I mean? But I'm like fanning out with y'all. I think y'all are like superstars. So, okay. Mental health is everything. Y'all know that, right? And do you know, so y'all heard her say, I am a life coach, and I also do something called Reclaiming Your Kingdom. It's a monthly space I hold just for men, because women will talk, but men don't talk. So I hold a space for men to open up and to talk and to heal, and it's beautiful. They come every month and they love it, and they talk about things that they've never talked about before, and it helps them with like stress and heart disease and diabetes, because disease comes from you being diseased, right? So if you're not talking, if you are not talking to someone that you can trust about your life, none of us can judge, because the Bible says he or she who is without sin cast the first stone, right? So that's how we shut it all down. So we don't have to be ashamed of life. All of us are imperfect, but we need help. And it's okay for you to say, I need help. Black men especially, y'all have to get used to saying, I need help. I'm hurting. This happened to me and I'm hurting, right? Don't worry about who couldn't receive you. They weren't the one. but don't give up on speaking and using your voice, because y'all understand what I'm saying? Okay, I'm very passionate about this, so, you know, all right. I love y'all. Here we go. So let's get to these dope panelists. I'm interested to hear what they talk about when it comes to mental health and gaming. So we're going to start right here with Mr. Chris Davis. Hello, Chris.
How are you?
I'm amazing. Chris is the founder of Black Gamer League and Force MG. Am I saying that properly?
Yep.
Fantastic. He's the, okay, Chris Davis is the founder of the Black Gamer League, an online community created to connect Black gamers, content creators, and those who are interested in networking and navigating the gaming industry. He was born in Salisbury, did I say that right?
Salisbury, yep.
Salisbury, North Carolina, and raised in Charleston, South Carolina. In 2009, he returned to Salisbury to attend Livingstone College, where he earned a Bachelor of Arts degree in English, me too, and became a fourth-generation alumnus of the historic Black college. Chris then went on to obtain his master's degree in sports management at the Citadel Graduate College, and upon graduation returned back to Livingstone as a professor, love it, of sport management in 2016. In 2018, Chris founded Force Management Group, a management company for gaming-related talent, and the Black Gamer League in hopes of bridging the gap and increasing the representation of Black gaming professionals throughout the world. I love this. He hopes to continue building his communities to have a lasting impact for Black people in the industry, and you will. Give it up for Chris. Give him some love. Give him some energy. Thank y'all. Okay, next we have DarkShiChi. Did I get it right? Yes. She's also known as Tatiana, okay? She's a streamer, content creator. So DarkShiChi, which means, don't tell me, Dark 7, right? Yes, I'm brilliant. She is an Afro-Latin variety creator that stands on a platform of gaming as an outlet. They regularly participate in, do you go by they? Okay, she, they, okay, girl. They regularly participate in charity events to make a difference in and around their community. I love this. You can usually find her streaming GTA roleplay, Apex Legends, and more. She can also be found knitting or talking about food. Yes, ma'am. Welcome her. Woo! Love it. And last but certainly not least, hey, Brittney. All right, y'all. So we have Brittney Seals, Chief Operating Officer of Esposure, Inc. At Esposure, she says, I ensure the continuous innovation and progression of the company by assessing and allocating resources, optimizing workflows, and helping develop and execute plans for our growth. I find fulfillment in having the ability to make a large impact and helping others, which is what makes being a part of Esposure family an exhilarating experience. Thank you, Brittney. Give it up for Brittney. Love it. Okay, fantastic. So let's go on ahead and deep dive into these questions, okay? Where are they? On the front, right in my face. You see that? Okay. Okay, fantastic. So this is for everybody. What can Black and brown gamers do to manage toxic gaming, this is so good, experiences when they happen? Should I repeat it? Yes, ma'am. Flip it up right there. Bam.
There we go. All right. So I am in the gaming sphere. I stream regularly on Twitch, twitch.tv/DarkShiChi. And I have been hate rated. If nobody knows what that is, Twitch, you go on, you stream. It's like doing a show like radio, but you know, people can see you and they can see the gameplay. And for a large amount of time, there was actively a group going around finding Black and minorities and going in and saying the most hateful and the most like disgusting things. And they were doing this through bots, so it was automated. So you're there, you know, you getting in, you know, trying to clutch out that win in Apex, you know, smack a little foreheads and stuff like that. And then you see 1 follow, 2 follow, 3 follow, 75 follows. And it's all 0, 1, A, B, X, Y, or whatever. And that was my first experience going like, you know, this isn't good. This is not good. My reaction to it is like, all right, well, show's over. Like, you know, like I'm cool. I'm gonna get off. I'm gonna keep playing. What I later learned is that for a lot of people, it was very traumatic, you know? For me, like, I'm from the hood, you know? You ain't gonna say it to my face. I don't care what you gotta say. Right. But for a lot of people, it was very traumatic. And so some of the steps that I've learned to prevent things like that is definitely make sure that you are aware of the tools that the developer gives you, whether it's Twitch, Facebook, Apex, Overwatch. I'm talking about that mute button, that turning down their volume. Like, there are so many tools that the developer gives to us to control our experience. So for me, like now on Apex, I don't hear any of my teammates' audio. I turn that off. Like, I'll be in Discord with my homies, we'll be chilling, but that audio off, because I have a threefold. I'm black, I'm Hispanic, and I'm bi. Somebody gonna say something. And so I'm just like, I don't want that. I don't want to deal with that, so I'm gonna turn it off. So for me personally, I hit that mute button. I hit that block button. I'm gonna move on and keep it pushing, because I'm not gonna get my channel taken down or banned because you wanna say something.
Exactly.
Nah, that's not how it works.
That's good. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Anyone else wanna answer that question?
Yeah, so kind of to piggyback off of that, I think one of the things as gamers especially, or content creators in general, we have to remember that we have a lot of power. We don't, like DarkShiChi said, you don't have to listen to anyone. You don't even have to set it up to play anyone. You can be in your Discord, you can be playing with your friends, you can control your environment as a whole. So even though there are people that are out there that are setting up bots or that are just gonna be hateful in your comments or anything that you do online, as we all know, you have to remember that you actually have the control, much more control than what we do on the daily. We're just so used to being online. Right. We've made social media our lives. It's basically another version of us, and we forget that we can actually disconnect or control the environment much more. So I just think it's a conscious effort to make those things and protect your space.
That's good. I love it.
Also, speaking about just protecting your space, just not taking it laying down, as far as if you know you have tools to report it, report them. If you use your platform, you got a Twitch, you got a Twitter, using that as an opportunity to call those people out as well, not just kind of going with the flow or feeling like you have to conform, to make them feel comfortable. So really just using your voice, speaking out, and then building your brand as well so that people will listen and reach out to the developers as well, because they have the power to create different tools to protect you, just like they're going to protect people from cheating, while also being toxic is also something they need to help protect us from as well as gamers.
That's good. I love it. Thank y'all. And I will say this from a coaching standpoint. If you have has anyone read the book, The 4 Agreements? Okay, right. So, and this is just something, if I was coaching you, I would suggest that you do, is either listen to the audiobook, depending on if you're a visual or you like to actually read. If you're an Audible learner, there's an audiobook on YouTube, but it's called The 4 Agreements, and one of the agreements is don't take anything personally. That changed, listen to me when I tell you that changed my life mentally. It helped me with my anxiety, because I learned that whatever you're going through has nothing to do with me. So if you and I are playing a game, right, and you come on there and you're like, whatever, that has nothing to do with me. Do y'all understand that? We don't know what people are going through in their life. We don't know how they've been programmed. We don't know. So why would we add on extra stress and take on things from people when it has nothing to do with us? So that would be my suggestion from a life coaching standpoint. Don't read the book because it's excellent. There are 4 agreements, but definitely when you master not taking anything personally, like your gaming experience will even be better because you're not even tripping off what people are saying because you know who you are. You understand? So that's my tip to you. All right. Okay, so next question. 80% of gamers say video games provide them with mental stimulation. relaxation, and stress relief. But like any dedicated athlete, gamers can also battle intense stress, depression, and anxiety due to pressure to succeed and win in the gaming space. In what ways have you all been able to use gaming for positive mental health? And in what ways have you dealt with the potential negative emotions associated with being a gamer? So the first part of the question is, what have you been able to use gaming for positive, in what ways have you been able to use gaming for positive mental health? First question. Second one is, what ways have you dealt with the potential negative emotions associated with being a gamer?
Oh, go ahead. I think one of the most important things that, as a gamer, I've gamed my whole life, now running the Black Gamer League, that I see so many different aspects of it. You need to be able to disconnect even from your passion. I think a lot of times that we focus so hard on the things that we want to accomplish, especially if it's in gaming specifically, right? It became a thing of, kind of going off of the talks about the 2K League. I was good at 2K. I played 2K every day. I found out this opportunity to further my advancement in 2K. I can actually make a career. Now, me playing every day, I add extra stress because it's like, oh, I'm not just playing anymore. I want to compete. I want to be better than this person. I want to be better than that person. Now I got to play all day. I used to play all day anyways. Now I got to play all night. Now I got to kind of, it's manufacturing your schedule around something that you love, but that can also become a stress indicator, a stress bringer to your life. So I think it's more so just controlling, kind of going back to what I was saying, a lot to me with mental health is controlling that environment, controlling your peace, maintaining what you want to do. You can be successful without it taking away your joy.
Right, that's good. Excellent. Would you like to answer? Okay. So one of the questions is, in what ways have you been able to use gaming for positive mental health? We'll start with that one. In what ways have you been able to use gaming for positive mental health?
So for me, naturally, I'm speaking more from the business side of things. We have Esposure is a company that's focused on providing opportunities and exposure for people who find their passion in gaming, and then also the careers that support gaming as well. And so when you speak about that, one of the biggest ways that we see all of the time is just having people have their space, find their comfort level. You don't have to surround yourself with people who are going to kind of diminish you or kind of make you feel like uncomfortable for being yourself, right? And so that's part of the ownership. We are a Black company. We're a family-owned Black company, right? And so everything we have in there, we don't have to worry about code switching. We don't have to worry about people being toxic to us because we set the tone and we are able to, create our own environment, as you were saying. And so that's really big. And then we also enforce that same standard when we have players come in. You're going to respect everybody in our place. Our executive staff is primarily women. You heard Danny earlier, he's our CEO, and then the rest of the staff is filled with Black women. And so when you talk about that, that is the awesome opportunity that we have as far as diversity and being able to make sure that everybody is comfortable, everybody speaks out. Because even though Danny is the CEO, I can be saying something, and someone said it earlier, I can be speaking to someone and they'll talk directly to him sometimes. And he is a man, and so those dynamics sometimes will affect your mental, especially it'll be a role that I have and someone else will address him. And so those are just some of the interesting things, but you have to be confident in who you are and your passion and your purpose. And then sometimes you do have to know and check in with yourself constantly and say, hey, I do need to tap out. I do need to take a break for myself. Maybe, tonight I'm not going to get on the game, or I'm not going to do this, and I'm just going to sit down and listen to music or vibe out or do whatever I have to do to be sure that I'm good within myself instead of letting all the noise, all the voices, and all the stress get to me.
Love it.
For me, I'm going to out myself right here, right now. I have over 2,000 hours on Overwatch. I played that game. Like, I was working a job that I hated, so when I came home after work, I was like, yo, we getting on? You getting on? Who's getting on? These hands? You getting on? Who's getting on? And so for me, it was taking the time to be like, I really like this game, but I need to, like you say, disconnect from it.
Yeah.
So the way I deal with it is like I re-picked up hobbies that I didn't do for a really long time. Like I knit a lot. I ended up knitting my first sweater, which was really cool. And like I've made like several other things. So like I just have days where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna socialize. Like I have to remind myself, like I need to socialize outside of Discord, offline. Like I'm happy to say I'm in a really loving relationship now. So sometimes, like even if it's just me and my partner going to play like a slow game like Terraria or like Stardew, because you don't have to like completely disengage from gaming, but I switch up the vibe. Like I'm always on Overwatch or Apex, which is a lot of fast motion, a lot of critical thinking, a lot of strategics, and then sometimes I take a step back and I'll be like with my music and or like watching something and just knitting or just doing Stardew Valley, Terraria. You know, you can always find something other to do, and I feel like for a lot of gamers, they forget that you are a person. There's other things you can do. You ain't got a hobby? Make sure gaming isn't your only hobby. Like, go for a walk. Go touch some grass.
Right? Hug a tree. It feels so good to hug a tree, I promise. It really does.
I'm not going to hug a tree, but I'll go outside.
I'm challenging you to try it.
Okay, today. Today
I'm
will be that day.
We're going to do it together.
All right.
Out there.
Some trees outside.
Go hug a tree. I'm telling y'all.
And what was the second part of that question?
It says, in what ways have you dealt with the potential negative emotions associated with being a gamer? So how do you deal with if you're having some negative thoughts or negative energy when it comes to gaming? How do you deal with that?
For me personally, I have a really strong support network. I have my brother, my sister, my best friends, and so like they keep me in check because I'll be like, I clip everything. I'll be like, yo, this made me feel some type of way. Am I crazy? Am I in the wrong here? Because, you know, I got a mouth. I'll go off on people. I don't care. But at the end of the day, like when I'm feeling bad, I know that I can go to the Black Gamer League Discord and be like, hey, yo, Force, I'm tired. I ain't streaming today, bro. This, and that, woody woo. And he'll be like, how are you doing? Are you keeping up with your mental? You know, how are you feeling? I'll go over to, I'm in several different teams. Like I was that person that's like, who are you? What team are you on? How do I get on that team? And I'm on Black Girl Gamers that has like an extensive network of like women all over the world who just do really good content, but also they care. So like you see people going in there every day like, hey, how are you guys? Good time zone. How's everyone? Did you remember to drink water?
That's so good.
That's one that I always need reminded, like, have you drank water today? And sister shooters, so I surround myself with Black excellence and Latinx excellence because I'm also in Latinx in gaming. And so it's really surrounding yourself by strong people who are okay talking about when they aren't strong. And that's the difference. Because it's really easy to say like, oh, they're so cool, they got all their stuff together, and then you talk to them and it's like, oh no, they don't got their stuff together.
Nobody has it all together.
They just know how to make it look like they got the stuff together.
No one has it all together.
Because don't forget, social medias are crafted to be the way that they are. They are crafted to show you one facet of this one person or group. So don't forget that. But behind them, there are a bunch of people who are helping them to do that. So like you said, don't be afraid to ask for help. And if the people around you aren't willing to help you and support you, more than likely you are surrounding yourself with the wrong people and you need to find your people. And there are several groups, several organizations, mentorships, internships that you can find. Google it. That's how I found Black Girl Gamers. I literally stumbled into Black Girl Gamers because I Googled Black Girl Gaming. Top of the list, Black Girl Gamers. So I was like, oh, okay. I ended up in their Facebook group and then their Discord group, and I got the privilege to host on their streaming channel for a while, and now I'm doing all these other things. Like, it might not be apparent. I'm from the hood. I'm like from South Central LA. Like, there's some really traumatic things that I've seen because of my environment that I had to rise above. And I'm okay talking about that now because of the therapy, the talking, the mentorship, the finding the people who, you know, like Forrest Davis, who's like willing to talk about, you know, I've been there and this is what I experienced and this is how I brought myself out of it. So that's how I combat the negativity. When I have a bad day, like, I'll more than likely tweet it because, like, you know, someone else might be having a bad day and we can commiserate together.
Right.
Like, I'm fine with that. Like,
So you release, it sounds like you have a great outlet to release, which is if you don't have that, find community, find people that you can talk to. That's very important. Like, so I'm always like, what are the tools, right? So some of the tools that we've heard are find a community, you know, make sure you know who you are, be confident in yourself, know who you are. Take advantage of the things that gamers put in place to block negativity online. That's gonna be part of our next question. So make sure you guys are using these tools that we're saying to help with your mental health, because you can have all the money in the world, you can make so much money from gaming, but if you're not right mentally, what's the point, right? So we wanna have fun and we wanna enjoy our passions and our callings and what God has anointed us to do. But we also want to live a healthy, full life. So if anything begins to consume you and you're conscious of that, find somebody that you can talk to and say, I think this may be consuming me a bit much and I'm not as social as I probably should be, right? We know we hear the term socially awkward. I feel like that. I really do I really do. People, no one ever believes me. But I do, but I'm like, I'm enough, right? I do my affirmations, I'm enough. I'm supposed to be here. I belong here. I will always connect with the people I'm supposed to connect with. God, send me my tribe, right? So there are tools and things you can speak out of your mouth, which creates your world that you can use to help with your mental health and gaming. Okay.
I do want to add one
Oh,
more
please,
thing.
yes.
So as gamers, you all are essentially entrepreneurs for the most part. And so part of that is you really have to think about your boundaries when you're checking in with yourself, and you want to be able to set things in place to make your life easier and reinvest in yourself. So starting out, you're probably going to be doing everything by yourself. But as a gamer, that's a lot, you know, and even if you're a gamer, if you got a gaming business, whatever you're doing, that is a lot. You're trying to do videography, you're trying to do photography, you're trying to do graphic design. Who's gonna do your overlays? Who's gonna set up your stream? How, you know, who's in your chat moderating everything, or who's taking care of your branding? Who's taking care of all of the physical engagements that you're doing or the virtual engagements that you're doing? There's so much, and if you really wanna grow your brand and be the best at what you're doing, it's going to be a lot. And so at a certain point, you gotta say, okay, what are some things that I can delegate? You know, who are some friends that have some skills or some potential to build some skills that can help me grow to where it takes that pressure off of me? Maybe I need to hop on Fiverr and see if I can get somebody to knock out some of these graphics for me. That can save me some time. I can sleep while they're working. I get up and just check it and do revisions. So that's something you really want to think about as you grow in your brand and as you're growing your business, is like, okay, how do I feel? What is on my plate? What can I realistically get done? And then what do I need to offload so that I can actually be a human and breathe a little bit, so that I can have the space to create and do what I actually need to do? Because you don't want to get bogged down in doing all of these other things that you don't really want to do, but that go into you building your brand and getting to the next step.
That's really good. So what we're hearing her say, y'all, right, is don't be afraid to ask for help. A closed mouth does not get fed. I know y'all mama probably said that to y'all, right? So ask for help. Don't talk yourself out of a yes by saying they're not gonna help me. How do you know? Don't talk yourself out of blessings. Don't talk yourself out of opportunities. And if you do ask someone and they say no, it's not no, like in acting. When I audition, I don't book, it's not a no, it's a better role for you, period, right? So just know if that person you ask, they're not receptive or whatever, again, we don't take it personally, but continue to ask until you get what you need, like she said, because it's going to make your life easier and less stress so you can enjoy this beautiful life, right?
I have one more thing I wanted to add.
Perfect. I know this is
popped
so
up
good.
in my head. It's great. I think another thing is you have to have the awareness to know if you need help.
That's so
Especially entrepreneurs, people that are building things. We have to, you know, I'll speak from example. When I was building Black Gamer League, I thought I had to do everything.
Okay.
And it is, as Brittney was bringing up the different things we had to do, I started, getting a little twitchy, getting a little anxiety, thinking about all the things that, we have to do. But you have to have the awareness to know, okay, I can do this, this, and this, but I'm getting too burnt out, or I need help, or be confident enough to ask for help, especially that.
Yes.
So yeah, I just want to add that.
Yeah, that's so good because y'all know every lane is not our lane. Y'all know that, right? We're not wired to know everything. It takes a village. So it's okay if your brain is wired more for whatever, and then you need the person who's maybe they're better with finances than you. That's okay. It doesn't make you less of a person. It doesn't make you less of a god or a goddess. All that makes you is human, and you just know that you dominate in this lane, right? You dominate in your lane. I dominate in my lanes. But the lanes that I don't dominate in, I ask for help with people who dominate in those lanes. I'm like, oh my God, and it's just such a breeze. It makes it so much better. So perfect. Okay, last question before we take questions, and I hope y'all have questions. What can gaming entertainment companies do better to ensure a safer environment for gaming? I think some of y'all kind of touched on that, but again, what can gaming entertainment companies do better to ensure a safer environment for gaming?
So from my perspective, of course, it's going to be diversity. The more diversity you have, the more uncomfortable it's going to be for the people who are going to be toxic to you, and the people who are not going to really make you feel like you belong where you are, and the people to make you feel like you are in the wrong space. So diversity is definitely the thing, and then using your voice in that as well.
Okay. For me, I think it would be, don't just pay attention to the feedback at the top of the pile. Like, I deal a lot with Twitch because that's my main streaming platform. The same faces all the time in my face. Like, I could like them, but you know what's going to get me to not like them even faster? You shoving them in my face still, like diversity, but also listening to those communities. Like, there are communities like Black Gamer League, Black Girl Gamers, Sister Shooters. Yeah. Why aren't you going to them to ask them? Like, I know Black Girl Gamers sends around a forum like, hey, what can we do better as a community?
Oh, that's good.
So they're like, you don't have to ask everyone in that community. How about you just ask the community manager?
Right.
The person whose job it literally is to know how the community feels, and then actually listen to it.
Got you.
Like, it's not that hard. Like, if you're going to ask me my opinion and then you're just going to throw it in the trash, like, what?
Right.
Exactly.
That's good.
I think that's a good point that she just brought up. They have to listen. A lot of companies will make diversity initiatives, for example, or making it so they are trying to address the toxic, environment that their game might bring, or the community of their game might bring. But once they listen to those things, they have to take that action behind it.
Right.
A lot of times we get so caught up with they said they're going to do this, or they said that they're looking at this, or they said they're going to increase diversity, but are they doing it? What are the actions behind it, and can you see it? Can we see it? Instead of y'all just telling us you're doing it. Are you making the environment better for our people? Are you tackling these issues? We have to see the results.
So let me ask you something. Of course, me not knowing much about gaming. So these companies that you're referring to, who if you say, and they say, oh yes, we're going to change it, but they don't change it. Can you all, in solidarity, like not play that game? Or how does, you know what I mean? How does it work in the gaming and then go to maybe like a Black-owned company? Okay.
So I feel strongly about this because as someone who has over 2,000 hours in Overwatch, that whole Blizzard like BS that they had with the sexual harassment allegations and all of that, gamers massively canceled their subscriptions. They stopped playing that game. And that's when all the news outlets were like, gamers have stopped playing Overwatch. Gamers are mad at Blizzard Entertainment.
Okay.
And they, like, people in masses. Like, I didn't play that game for like a year until a lot of those people were out of there. Because for me, I've worked in the industry, like I've worked for Square Enix, like heavily. So I know people who were in Blizzard. And the thing is, none of this is new. Okay. I'm telling y'all this, like 5 years ago, they all knew. Black people talk.
Okay.
Everybody talked from there, you know? They all knew. So like when you hear like, hey, this company is known to do this.
Yes.
Most people go to Twitter and be like, hey, at so-and-so has
Okay.
been doing this. Here's the screenshots. So I do with it what you will. And I'd be like, all right, well, we're going to block that one right here, right now.
Gotcha.
But also, it's just understanding that these companies need to understand that Black History Month isn't just 1 month.
Right.
Like, don't patronize me. Like, if you want me as a talent, you're going to want me 365 days a year.
Because you're Black all the time.
Exactly.
Not just in February.
Exactly. And then understand, I'm Black, Hispanic,
Right.
I'm a woman, I'm bi. I got all of these facets that I can bring to the table.
Yes.
But if you're going to play cards, you ain't going to pick one card from the deck. Like, we playing with all of these cards. You can't just pick and choose. So I think it's just really important, like, if you don't support the message behind a company, don't support it.
That's
You ain't
good.
getting my dollar, because I work hard for that money.
That's
But
right.
also, if you're not sure, do your research. I know a lot of you have probably heard about all of that Hogwarts Legacy stuff everywhere, literally everywhere. And, you know, you're going to take your own stance on that, and we all have our stance on it, but you have to respect that, because my opinion is just as valid as yours.
Yeah.
Just because you say it louder doesn't make you any more right. So it's all of that.
I love that. Good stuff. So can we do questions now? Is that okay for us to? Yes, fantastic. So you can go to the mic. If you have questions, please, y'all, ask them. Because if you don't open your mouth, we can't help you if we don't know what's going on.
Don't worry, we don't bite.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna do it all first. I try to do it all first, and it doesn't, it's not good.
Right.
I try to get my own pace, everything, and it's hard trying to get them to action because I like to do it myself. So, how can y'all help me, try to get out of that and try to get more done?
Yeah, we all have something.
Stupid. What you just said is one of the main reasons why I made the Black Gamer League. As we talked about already, we can't do everything. We think we can, but we get burnt out easy. Even if we are doing things successfully, we still get burnt out. So my organization, the Black Gamer League, we're made to connect people to do all those different jobs and to make our lives easier and stay into our own community, to build up. So I just think you have to be open to, not just the Black Gamer League, there are other organizations, but you need to be open to finding those organizations, connecting with people, and finding like-minded people that there's probably somebody that has the exact same goals as you, probably at another college down the street, that all y'all have to do is connect, and now you're taking care of everything together. It's being or not being afraid to connect and put yourself out there. Like, you even coming up here right now, like, it's the second time you come up, you're like, I'm gonna get my information.
That's right.
Like,
Love
you
it.
have to be able to do that.
That's good.
I'm a control freak. I'm a Virgo, I'm a control freak. So delegating was my hardest lesson to learn. I learned to DIY like overlays, Canva. Graphic art, Canva. Get Canva if you want to do a lot of that stuff. Video highlights, Canva. Because I hate editing, so I am not a YouTuber. I post my VODs to there, but I hate it. I know how. Trust and believe I know how. I hate it. So what I personally did is I went to my community first, like my people. Like, hey, twice a week, need one of you guys to pop into this stream, make sure nobody's cutting up.
That's good.
Point blank, easy. As I got further along, I got more followers. You know what I did? I created a mod book. I have standards for my mods. I say, if you're gonna be my mod, this is what you're gonna do, or else you're not gonna be my mod. And like, you know, it was starting with my friends and then expanding into my community and then heck, throwing it up on Twitter like, hey,
Yeah, I was about to say
I
that.
might only have 50 viewers or 50 followers, but would you be down to just making sure nobody cutting up in my chat? And part of the mod book, I put my, my rules for my chat and my community. I let them know like, hey, if you don't know how to do things, here's the commands. Here's how you ban someone. Here's how you put this in the stream in protection mode or emote only. And then that way, I can tell them exactly how I want things done. As long as they don't get done, as long as they get done, I don't care how you do them.
Gotcha.
Here's X, Y, and Z. Here's how to do it. And then just having that confidence in people to do it. And I've luckily gotten to a point where I have a really good mod who I actually pay. He takes care of my YouTube and a lot of my Twitch stuff. And like I have the privilege to where every now and then I can toss him 40 bucks. I'm tossing him 40
Awesome.
bucks. And every time he's like, bro, you don't have to do this, and that. And I'm like, no, I got it. Like, I'm gonna be real right here. I got 50 bucks from Twitch last month. I paid him 40 of that.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, that is time and effort
That's
that he
right.
took out of his schedule to do
Yes.
that for me and do it right. He did it right. That's the difference, like, you know? So you can always start with your homies because the ones who are going to support you are going to support you.
Yeah.
And if they don't know, they might know somebody who might know. You can post in different forums, be like, hey, I'm looking for a moderator for my YouTube channel. I need you to do X, Y, and Z, and see who hits you up. Because like at the end of the day, nobody know. Ain't nobody got this figured out. We're all
Right, we're all trying to figure
messing
it out.
around and finding out along the way.
Yes,
So
for sure.
sometimes it's gonna be that, other times it's gonna be like, oh, hey, I tried that, it didn't work. Here's why. And simple as
Yes.
that sometimes.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah, so I was gonna say the same thing. It may be somebody in here that you can connect with that can do what you need. So make sure you're talking, right, amongst each other. You're welcome.
Hello, my name is Andres. I live at Hillside High School, and I'm a senior.
Oh.
I just wanted to know, have you ever felt like being toxic, being experienced as toxic behavior? And if so, how do you catch yourself from doing that?
Can you say that one more time? Right, I love it.
How do you respond to toxic? I know sometimes you feel like being toxic to toxic behavior.
Right.
But how do you catch yourself from doing that?
That's a great question. You want me to go first or y'all want to go first?
So I am a gamer. I play Apex and Overwatch. You will encounter the most toxic. It's not Dead
Wow.
by Daylight, but it is toxic. And you know, like I said, I'm from the hood. Like I don't care who you is. Like you ain't saying it to my face. You ain't gonna swear with me. Like I don't care. But at the end of the day, I still got a mouth on me. So me, sometimes, yeah, I'm gonna give it right back because you're not about to clown me on my show, on my stream. That's not what's gonna happen. And you know what I do after that? I said my piece. I'm gonna mute them.
Got you.
That's what I do. I'm gonna be honest. Like I'm not saying anything wild to the point that I'm afraid that I'm gonna get my channel banned.
Right.
But boy, I'm gonna tell you about yourself because I sure do got 26 limbs as the healer, and you at the tank got 5. So let's talk about that. How can you be a better tank? How about that? Stay in your lane, bro. And me personally, I'm gonna say my piece and I'm gonna move on. I have some friends that are just like, hit that mute button straight up. Like you start talking mess,
Mute.
like you got the Elgato panel that you can just click and then you can mute people. You got the stream deck, you know, hit that mute button. And that's just me. Sometimes I don't engage, especially on wider platforms like Twitter, Instagram, because brands are looking at that. When you put it in writing, that can always come back to you.
Always.
Remember that. It don't matter how old it is, what you thought you deleted. If it is written down somewhere, someone somewhere can pull it up. So I want to make sure that my message is clear, concise, and nobody can say, oh, she said this. Nah, it didn't come from my mouth, so obviously I didn't say that.
Yeah, that's good. So that's a great question. And just in life, you can have a seat if you want to. That's a great question in life and on gaming. I'll just give you this tool, right? So again, you know how we said, don't take anything personally, but sometimes we're still flesh, right? Because as much personal development as I do, sometimes I want to pop off, right? But then I say, but are they worth it? And they never are. You know what I mean? And like she said, like if it's a gaming situation, you have to think about the cost, right? So if somebody is toxic, we know, first of all, it has nothing to do with us. Whether it's your mom, a 2-year-old, I don't care who it is, that has nothing to do with you. So it's like I'm responding to something that I didn't cause, right? So I always count the cost. Like, is this worth me popping off for? And most of the time it's not. You know what I mean? And if you have to say something, there's nothing wrong with you standing up for yourself. That's different. You stand up for yourself because you're a king. You understand what I'm saying? So there's nothing wrong with you standing up for yourself, but you can still do it in love. You can say something very nicey and still be in love. Like, okay, don't talk to me like that. You respect me, and I respect you. Okay, thank you. Right?
And don't forget, it costs nothing to say.
Yeah, it's very true.
It's free 99 to mind your own business.
Yeah. But it's normal to have those feelings. We all do. That's so normal.
At the end of the day, we're gamers. We all recognize that there are trolls in every aspect of life. Like, there are people that will literally just do that because they're bored.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to remember that. Even though they say something that's going to piss you off, you're a troll. I'm not going to stoop down to the troll level.
That's right.
Now, unless you want to be a troll. If you're a troll too, then you can troll back, but we're not going to get into that. Just control it. Control your environment. That's my.
Yeah, that's
just
so good.
real quick. So I had a post the other day that went viral, and I had my first troll on it, right? First troll on a post, and I could have responded. I could have came back, clapped back at him. I took it as an honor. I was like, ooh, I'm doing big things now. I have trolls, right? Because the more you're doing, right, and the more you're doing, the more you put yourself out there, the more people you're going to have trying to tear you down. It's their insecurities, and it's their problems that they have to work out with. So that's one of the things that you have to remember as you do have people coming at you with their negative energy.
Oh, hello. Oh, that's beautiful.
Right.
Awesome. I love that.
One, I love that because you're already doing exactly what you're saying you want to do.
Yes, that's fantastic.
Yeah, let's clap it up for that. You're already doing exactly what you said you want to do. You already made a community. Now it's just about being on your journey and building it and finding people naturally that are going to join your community. You've already made it. You did a Discord, right? You said you got 10 people. I wish I had 10 people. You got 10 people that are, got your back. You made it. I love the acronym. It's all about being consistent, running your race, and finding other people that want, just like y'all made it, there are people probably in here that want to join your community right now. So just keep on pushing it, putting yourself out there, and don't put too much pressure on yourself because you're going to probably morph what you think you're doing now. Like when I started Black Gamer League, it was a small group on Facebook that I just wanted to see if there are other Black gamers.
Wow.
That's it.
Wow.
And then it morphed to a community. So don't put pressure on yourself. You're already doing it. You should be proud that you even started because some people won't even start. Keep going, and I'm sure you'll have one of the biggest communities.
Good stuff. So let me, because this is, again, I'm just asking because I don't know. So, like putting it on social media and saying, I have a platform called Ugly Gamers, right? Will that, is that,
100%.
okay.
I didn't know anything about Ugly Gamers until you just told me, right?
Right.
So
market it.
Exposure.
You may not have gotten a chance to ask questions. Some people were shy and don't want to on the mic.
Right.
I salute you for doing that.
Yes.
First of all, ugly is going to attract people because you don't think ugly.
I love it.
I'm going to check it out. So I love that. And
Yes.
a positive acronym, you're destined to greatness.
Yeah.
Just make yourself and get ready for all that will come out of it. Okay, just know that. You've got a team, mentors.
Yes.
They're going to be ready to help. Okay? So thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For an amazing